Hey, everybody, we should be live here. Yep, and welcome.
What's up, y'all? You know what time it is. It's about to be that time.
73. What should prove to be a pretty Zoro-focused chapter with the way that the last one ended. We'll see where Oda wants to go. We have all this Brook stuff that is in the wind. We'll see if we get into any of that. Catch up with Luffy and Loki. Those are all the things that feel appropriate. I want to thank everybody that is here with me today. And we'll get into it. Pulling up the chapter now. Okay, I can see that there's no break. It's always a good way to start a chapter. Chapter 1173, Warrior Generation. We've got Usopp on the cover with Chopper. Usopp smearing honey on the tip of his nose to lure in rhinoceros beetles. All right. Moving on. Okay, we're here on the page 2, page 3 double spread here. We've got Dory and Brogy and the rest of the reversied Giant Warriors pirates facing off against Ja Rule and his posse. Dory and Brogy, what has become of you? What plan do you speak of, Zoro? First you need to tell me if it's okay to cut him into pieces. That's a good question. They're all members of the giant pirate crew. Protecting Chief Ja Rule's life is our top priority, but ideally we don't want to harm vaunted warriors who have earned our respect. Is that Hyrodin and Stanson? They've spotted us. Remember, don't get sandwiched. Listen to Barry, everybody. Like D-Stream.
Come with me if you want to live.
Alright, moving on. We'll focus on page 4 for here, even though it's kind of a double spread. I was not spoiled, so hopefully that means something exciting happens in this chapter. So have you boys managed to unite all of Giant Kind yet? I'm guessing the answer is no, ha ha ha. Okay. That, triggers Hyrodin and Stanson. They give Zoro the go-ahead to slice them all up, realizing that these are not the giants that they know and love. Zoro says, I hear you, brothers. Leaps off of Hyrodin's shoulders. Aha, they can't sandwich you if you're overhead, huh? Clever. Let's flank him. Let's flank him from the side, Stanson. You got it. All right, they're working together. I like this. This is cool. Page 5. Zora's out here playing Mario, jumping on the giants' heads. Boink, 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 boink. He's up above. A little puny human. Alright. Santoriugi. Crossing the 6 paths. Hits all of them at once. Well done, Rhoda Noah. He appears behind Dory and Brogy. They look a little shocked here. Dory, Brogy. Oh, gotta move. Oh, okay, so Zoro had to abandon the attack. And then we recreate the panel from Little Garden. Oh, wow. They slice through both of their shields, and they slice through each other, but they'll be able to regenerate. The level of danger that they were not able to do to each other when they were fighting on Little Garden. Okay, Zoro's confused. This is the first time he might be seeing this. I don't know if he actually got to witness any of this on Egghead. I can't remember. Dory, Brogy, captains. Wow! Moving on to page 8. Ah, Brook. Phenomenal. And push. Brook. Branch 8. And push. And push. So he's wrapped in arrows and inching, worming towards Gunko Imu. Princess Shuri. Is that you, Princess Shuri of Wakanda? No, of course not. I know you can't be her. But you look so alike, it reminds me of her, and I couldn't help but check just in case. Next page. But even if you're not the same person, you must be blood relatives, yes? If she were still alive, she'd be nearly 80 years old after all. So that would only put Brook 10 years older than what he remembers Gunko to be. Because Brook is 90. But nearly 80 means that she could actually be younger. She could be like 78. Okay, that yeah. Doors open. And she certainly wouldn't recognize me, not in the state that I'm in now, but your face, your blue hair, your mismatched eyes, the Holy Land, and your love for music, all of it aligns perfectly, doesn't it, Princess Shuri? I never wanted to think of you again for the rest of my life. Oh, he is angry. Okay, all right. Not the father-killing princess. The life you stole away belonged to the man whom I owe everything? Ooh, it's getting spicy.
It's about to get spicy!
I never wanted to think of you again for the rest of my life. Not the father-killing princess. The life you stole away. Man whom I owe everything. Okie dokie. Yeah. Okay. Pushing through. Gunko, is thy memory coming back? Run, Brook. Of course, Oda had to draw that panel there. Huh? What? The rope is wobbling. Alright, Brook's the key to this one. Okay. Next. Ah. Free at last. How darest thou? Brook, Ah! So it's another misunderstood circumstance. She may have killed her father, but she was under control. It would have been more interesting if she was just purely evil. You know, like I don't know. Let's see. Anyway. Yikes, it tightened up again. What was that just now? What do you mean, run? Did you realize I came to finish what was started? Who in the world are you? Glare. We're going to move to the next page, and I'm hoping that we're continuing this, because the way that it's ending, Oda could go somewhere else, and that would be disappointing. Okay, good. We're still here. Shut thy mouth. What are thee to Gunko? Where'd Brook get this shield? I love this panel, though. Brook just blocked an attack from Emu. Oh, my guy. My guy. Oh, wait, that's it? We're moving on to something else? No. Brook going full night mode. Captain America block shield moment. Brook over Luffy. Brook has hockey. Brook for the win. Brook gas. Who needs hockey? MLP said, no, blocked an attack from Gunko. No, because look at the words. It's, you know, what are thee to Gunko? That's Emu speaking. JHSM said, Brook's the first Straw Hat to encounter Emu. Wasn't Brook the first to encounter a Yonko also? Because he went up against Big Mom and wasn't that was like the first time any of them had actually like stood up to an emperor. So this is kind of like following that. I do want pure evil Gunko, but we're not getting that. Barry said, I need the tea, Brooke. I need it too. Kip said, I'm so glad Oda did this instead of the secret daughter thing. Well, I was never team secret daughter. Pretty sure this is what I was like saying, that she would have been the princess of whatever kingdom he was the vizier for. So I guess
another one. Another one. and another one.
Yeah. I'm gonna take that. Wheezy said, "This is my Super Bowl, watching Randy react to Brooke." Well, I mean, I stopped the read to see what the chat is. Like, I didn't even finish the chapter yet, because I'm on this. JH is at Brooke versus Big Mom unfazed. Brooke versus Emu unfazed. We've all Brooke, yep. Barry said, "I honestly like the thought of his soul fruit being a factor in this fight against Emu." Which also, you know, creates another parallel to him going up against Big Mom with her fruit.
You loyal.
Jimmy LP said, "Blocked an attack from Gunko possessed by Emu. Not really Emu's body himself. What I'm saying is it's not the same as God Valley." What I'm saying is it's exactly the same as God Valley. Because Emu's real body would have still, at least my interpretation of God Valley is that Emu's real body would still have been in the Holy Land. Like, Emu doesn't leave the Holy Land. So it's the same. Brooke did solo tank Emu here. Wika Forever said, "Brooke lore in the big 2026 was not on my bingo card. What's next? Vivi rejoining the crew. Please, Oda, I'm begging you here." Yeah, we need that. Alright, let's get back to the chapter. We're heading to some Usopp's story. Yes, I'm free. Okay, so that allowed everybody else that was wrapped in the arrows to get out. So this is, I mean, this is a big moment for Brooke. It's a big moment for Brooke.
Savage.
Sonic Jr. 53 supered, appreciate it, and said, "Is it finally time for Reverie, or are we waiting for the end of the arc now?" Technically, wasn't there one recently? I don't know what the plans are with everybody else as far as that's concerned. But I would imagine that there's probably not going to be one for at least a few months. There might be like some mini situation. All right. I feel like my mental powers did that. Why did they go slack for just a moment? Robin's tied up with something else. We've got to get you out. Don't worry about me. Just save the children, Nami. The Western Village is quite far away. Ange took off running. And even she might not make it in time. Nami. Oh, Sanji's here. Okay. Walk, you brats. Okay, so Sommers is focused on the children here. The goal is just ahead. I bet you're one of the demons Ja Rule talked about. Well, you're gonna regret it. Elbaf's really strong. We know that. It's why we're using you. I hear you're Gabon's son, huh? Shut up. Untie these thorn ropes. Yeah, let us go. Or at least fight us fair and square. You're funny. It's too late, kids. Looks like Summers is riding a dragon made out of thorns. Is that a construct from his ability? Look over there, it's the port and ship. Take a good look at your homeland. It's the last time you'll ever see it. No, I won't get to see Mommy and Daddy anymore. Help, don't take us away. Hello, Great One. Gillingham, I've almost completed the mission. Okay, moving on to page 14. I want to get out of here as soon as possible. Anything else we need to do? Oh, Ilva, Olav. Hey, what are those sleep tids doing? They're supposed to be keeping those giants occupied. Okay, so we've got Ripley and other forces showing up. We got Oimo. Mama, it's our parents and Grandpa Oimo. Look out from above. Ah, it's Nika, the god of destruction. Doubling down on that again. Next page. We called that Nika. Don't play games with us. We're the warrior generation. Okay, so everybody takes a hit on the sleep tid here. They're so strong. Look over there. That's where the kids are. It's too late, even if we run. So what I would like to happen here, since we're dealing with the like sleep tid version of Gear 5, this is actually where I want Luffy to show up. Which, you know, he really should be heading to where Brook is. But I want the people to see who the real, you know, warrior of liberation is. Like this is a grand moment for Luffy to come in, and I think that we're missing something if I get to the next page, and that's not what happens. Next page. Ooh, are we gonna get a Hakoko sovereignty from the new giant warrior pirates? Here we go, Goldberg. Ready? Shit. Double general. Wait. I can join in too. I'm coming to save you, little brother. Wait, he's standing in front of them. Okay. Triple general. Gokoku sovereignty. That's fun. Next page. All right, the giant warrior of destruction is going to land on Summers. Hey, are you trying to flatten me? And it destroys the ship. Oh, wow, okay. The ship. Oh, shoot. Well, I like that. I like that the new giant warrior pirates like showed that they are one, capable, and then also like defended their nation. Kind of tired of Luffy doing it all the time. Saeed said that Gokoku means roaring nation. I like it. I didn't know if it was like a play on Go being 5. I was like, well, there's only 3 people there, but then technically if you add Dory and Brogy using the attack, that means that there's 5 people that have used the attack in the story. I don't know if that's got anything to do with it or from grasping, but Red Hood said, I thought the same thing about the Sleep Did Nika versus Luffy Randy. Yeah, that would have been like a really good moment for Luffy to appear. You know, like there can be only one type situation, you know. But I actually do like the way that it turned out. Because there's too many times in One Piece where, like, you know, we come to the nation that needs help, and then Luffy helps. And we get to see how the people of the nation wouldn't have been able to do it without Luffy. And sure, even here in Elbaf, they're not going to be able to do it without Luffy and the Straw Hats, but this is like this feels like a pretty monumental destruction of their particular plan. Because they can't teleport the kids because they don't have the Mark of the Abyss. They needed the ship. Now they don't have a ship, so they have to get another ship. Do they go after the Sunny and they steal the Sunny or something? But, you know, it's going to be the question of, do they get the ship or do they just abandon the plan after this? Because this is a thing that would probably force them to actually hightail it out of there, and you know, they have to try again another time. But it's the fact that the Giants are the ones that did it. It's what I like. You know, it's like, it's the equivalent of, you know, Dalton doing something in Drum and destroying like Wapple's ship or something, instead of getting a bunch of arrows thrown into him and not getting to the you know, fight for his land and really at all, and getting to the castle when everything is done. You know, maybe the best other example that I can think of here would be, Kyros taking down Diamante, defending his nation in a way. Of course, Wano has the samurai, and they've got some feats in there, but I don't know if anything even matches this. Like, I mean, Momonosuke did some stuff. Yamato I don't necessarily consider a local, you know? Like, I can't put Yamato in the same classification of like what the Giants are doing here. Because it's like anything that Yamato did wasn't for, I'm gonna save Wano, really. Momonosuke, yes, but Momonosuke was like almost felt like a member of the crew doing something, so it was like it was in place of it. Now, granted, these new Giant Warrior Pirates are technically Grand Fleet members, but I don't know. I just hope everybody understands what I'm saying here. That like it's just cool that the Giants destroyed their plan. The Straw Hats can go through and like fight everybody and everything, but the Giants destroying the plan is awesome. JD listed, yes, Summers made a thorn serpent in an earlier chapter. Missed it. Yeah, we saw it before the flashback. Okay. Wilkazard said Chalmers should have just tanked it. He's immortal. The ship, however, yeah, that's like the hubris. That's the quirk, the bravado, not necessarily expecting it, and then just being a little bit of a buffoon. It's also plot, but Crash said good bit with Summers in the chapter. Summers basically saying nothing can possibly go wrong, then something goes wrong. Yep. It said would just be cool to see Luffy flex on one, yeah. Goku can be stacked times 3. Kaioken levels of sovereignty. The Legendario with the breakdown. Goku sovereignty is the father-son Kamehameha. No, the father-son Kamehameha was the Luffy and Bonnie both Gear 5 attack that they did.
You loyal.
That was the father-son Kamehameha. Let's be real. Brandon said, can you Domi Reversi the Sunny, like turn the Clobotterman evil? Make the ship look demonic, like Giola did with the made the ship look artsy? I mean, that's interesting. I don't know if Oda will go that way, because we haven't really been dealing with Clobotterman at all since Film Red notwithstanding. I don't know, but I like the idea. Volkazar mentioned Momo dragging Onigashima. Yeah, I mean that's definitely like top tier saving my kingdom activity, but even that feels different with just how long Momonosuke was in the story and riding along with us. Volkazard said, even more stock for Domi Reversi Frankie now. Mans can hammer a ship out of thin air for Emu. Ah, that would be a feat. It took him like a couple of weeks to make the Sunny. But, or at least a couple of days. But yeah, I like that idea too. Crush said, dream a boat, pull it out of a dream. Crush Nut rejoins.
Together we're stronger. Together we're stronger.
Let's see. Speaking of stronger together.
Together we're stronger. Together we're stronger.
I mean, we finally got a a good chapter with some Brooke stuff and all that. Like, we gotta have some. Gary Blood said, super appreciate it. Said, after Zoro dodges Dorian Berg's attack, isn't he starting to turn? Looks like his shadow is wrapping around him. I missed that. I'm gonna have to go back to that. Well, they did say don't get in between them, right? No, I don't think that he's turned, because I think Oda would have made a bigger deal out of it. What I think he's reacting to is what I said during the read, is the fact that Dory and Brogy have like vivisected each other here. Like they have cut, you know, like you got Brogy cutting off Dory's like upper half pretty much, and Dory is like going through Brogy at the side like it's paper. So, and their shields have been destroyed, etc. The ground is shaking from the attack. Like this is a huge thing. Zoro's basically watching them, you know, quote, kill each other, and I think that's the reaction. Because like he knows these guys, he likes these guys. He's like, what is this power? Like this is him sort of seeing firsthand and realizing what he's up against, because he also notices that they're not flinching, they're doing this and they're still fighting. So it's like if they can do that and he cuts them apart, what does it matter? But that also gives Zoro the free reign to kind of go off. It's like if they could just put themselves together, he might as well just keep cutting. Jin said, Domi Reversi, Frankie will be like, hasta la vista, baby. You know, that's another reason why, like, I wouldn't put it past Oda to do it. Because Frankie would literally just become a Terminator. Brandon said, also noticing some big parallels with Gunko and Uta. Both are daughters of prominent figures related to Luffy, and Brook likes music. Maybe both destroyed a kingdom after getting possessed. Well, when you think of all of the movies that Oda has produced and sent ideas in for, he's usually like blowing ideas that he was going to use later on. You know, like everything with Strong World is Wano, but the 2000 and what was it, 8, 9, 10, 2010, I can't remember, version of whatever he had in his head of what Wano could be, you know. And Kaido wasn't necessarily like that established of a character, and I think that a lot of what Kaido became is might have been Shiki in a different timeline. So if he had this idea in his head and then was doing Film Red and then is still like kind of attached to the idea, then yeah, you know, we might get a little deeper into this and say, you know what, this is kind of like Film Red, and that's it. No problem, Doctor. Saeed agreeing, saying, nah, I don't see the shadow thing. Those are action lines. Yeah, I'm with you. Sora's going to get lost and walk between Don't Reverse the Giants. And he just gets turned on it, like by accident. Gets played for a gag, but then he really becomes a demon. Kip said, much as I dislike Gunko, in parentheses, really don't like her, I will admit this chapter has made her a little interesting. Love Brooke's reaction to her. I'm interested to know what in particular makes you not like her. I've always found her interesting, maybe less so when she got possessed by Emu. While being possessed by Emu is an interesting, like, development and everything, I'm not going to get excited about it until they do something that, like, warrants it happening. Like, if Emu's going to possess Gunko, or possess somebody in the present, like, kill somebody, or, you know, do something crazy, like, don't do it just to do it. Do it because it, like, it's going to, like, push us forward. And this whole Brooke and Gunko thing was started getting set up prior to that even happening, and could have continued without the interference of Emu. Crow said, I was kind of surprised how much everyone is aware of how the Reversi power works. Yeah, it did seem kind of odd, like, they just, like, immediately got it after not seeing it in action at all. You know, the Hyrudin, Zoro, and Stanson, like, have a plan immediately. When, meanwhile, they were not there for any of it. It's just like, okay, got it. Barking noises. Willow Dream said lots of Loki and Gunko similarities now. Yeah, that was a thing that I initially, you know, I didn't verbalize this, but that was something that came into my head when I was reading, where I was like, you know, the whole patricide thing. And then even more so when it's implied that, you know, she probably didn't do it of her own accord, right? So Brooke is just as misguided as many of the Elbaf warriors were about Loki, assuming that Loki had killed his father on purpose. Instead of retreading that, what would be, you know, something a little more interesting is if you have Loki who didn't kill his father on purpose, then Gunko would be more interesting if she did. Or the difference that Oda's probably trying to suggest here is that, I mean, Loki did kill his father on purpose, but because he was possessed. What we'll eventually see in Gunko's flashback, most likely, is that she was possessed and the father wasn't. And then that's the difference. The father had no way of fighting against Gunko, probably. So Gunko just easily took him out. Emil said, when will we finally see the Loki fruit reveal? I would love it if it arrived in time for my birthday in 2 weeks. Happy early birthday. I mean, at this point, like, next week, I don't even want to see Loki and Luffy. I want to just, like, focus on this whole Brook thing. what I love about this chapter is that like I'm reinvested in what's going on in Elbaf now. The ship's broken. What's going on with the kids? Now I care. The other Straw Hats are free. What are they gonna do? Sanji's in the mix. Where's he going? What role is he gonna play? This Zoro and Brogy and Dory stuff just became interesting. But most of all, I mean, like, Brook tanking an attack from Emu is just insane. I love it. You know, that's the best part of the chapter, bar none. Brennan asked, did you pick up on the fact that the panel of Dory and Brogy getting hit by one another is nearly one-to-one to the OG Little Garden panel of them striking one another? I did, and I called it out during the read. I did love it. So he said, I just want to confirm you did read it as Summers deflecting the sleep to towards the ship, right? No, I didn't. I think I read it as it falling on him and then pushing him like into the ship. But considering that it ends on him, yeah, the geography on there isn't great. Because see, the other thing too that's awkward about like the way it ends is the way that Summers is shaded implies that like something is falling on him. Like that looks like I'm looking up at the sleep tid falling on me. So it's like I would actually have that panel before the previous panel of that. It's very possible that he did, whack the sleep tid over to the ship and then he's upset. But then I don't know why he's shaded like that, like something's about to hit him. Or when it fell, it pushed him and his thorn snake into the ship, and then he is on the ship as it's falling, reacting to all of it. I don't know. Maybe we'll find out next week. Said Kashi told them everything because some giants saw how it worked. King Sorrowful said David Desmalchin as Mr. 3 looks incredible. Can't wait to see him act.
Savage.
He's 3. King Sorrowful Super, appreciate it, said, are you doing press for season 2 or anything special? Well, I'll be at the premiere. Don't know about anything else. She said, hope we get something this coming Super Bowl for OPLA. That's interesting. I don't know if we have a commercial or not. So you can see the hit impact him on the thorny serpent in his spike if you look hard enough in the big panel. It said, crazy how some shading can make people think Zoro has been doing it. Is that like a common thing in the community right now? King Sorrowful, appreciate the super again. Said, I hate how some people are bashing Charitha as Vivi even before seeing her performance as an Alabasta combo of India, Egypt, and the Middle East. That is true. It is correct. The Nefertari Palace is clearly based off of the Taj Mahal, and that's, you know, in the same way that Dressrosa is a combination of Spain and you know, you get the Roman Colosseum. You know, you're Oda's always blending different cultures and everything, but I don't know. It's one of those tough things where, like, I hate seeing or, you know, it's unfortunate seeing some of the responses from some people about it, especially when, you know, it was Oda's decision. But, you know, I mean, like, I get it from the perspective of some people have, like, you know, this idea of what the character should be, but the creator also had an idea of what the character should be for the show. It'd be cool if you could have guests from the staff. I don't know. I think a lot of them want to stay out of the spotlight. Duran Rostuvia said, maybe Brook is the perfect vessel for Emu. We saw Saturn turn into a skeleton after he died. Maybe a living skeleton is what Emu needs for some reason. I mean, hey, look, anything that's going to make Brook more interesting. Bring it on. Kip said, also Oda picked her, right? Out of multiple candidates, and I know the other candidates, and they were other aspects of Alabasta, and he picked Charitha. But that is not to say that there will not be representation in other characters to come. Lifeless Gal said Oda only handpicks the Straw Hats. That is incorrect. Oda handpicks every character that has a name. He's got final say on all of it. And there have been characters, actors that we've presented and say, like, we really want this person to be that. And then says, try again. And then we try again. He's very involved. He is more involved than everybody thinks. And I think that that's, part of what makes everything work. Jin said, Randy, why haven't we seen Cobra yet in the One Piece live action? Because only the first season has appeared, and Cobra does not play a role in anything that happened in East Blue. Come on, what kind of question is that, Jin? Do I get to hang out with any other cast members? I've met many of them. Including, at this point, all of the Straw Hats. I'm not going to watch anymore because the actor playing Brook isn't a skeleton. Oh, yeah. If we ever get to Thriller Bark, that's going to be a top comment. I've not been to Cape Town, no. Jacob said, very nice year, especially when people like George R.R. Martin have had their vision skewed in the past by showrunners. Yeah. We're definitely avoiding that. Alright, let's take another look here at the chapter. See if there's anything else that we can pick up. Okay. I really enjoyed the dynamic between Zoro, Hired, and Stance in this chapter. It also elevated Stanson to maybe my second favorite among the new Giant Warrior Pirates. I mean, this Brook stuff is like the thing I am most interested in all of Elbaf right now, which is really awesome. But it's also like, it's diabolical from Oda that he has Brook like making this stand, shouting at this person that, clearly killed someone that meant an incredible amount to him. Someone very important to him. But meanwhile, he is inching around like a little worm, almost comically, as he's delivering, this line. But that's, that's classic Oda. But one thing that I I know that I had brought up previously was why, wouldn't Brooke have, if this person meant something to him, why wouldn't he have gone to search for or thought of her while, at any other point in the story? And this answers that very effectively. I never wanted to think of you again for the rest of my life because you killed blah, blah, blah. Like, that's an answer to a question that I had. And I appreciate when I get answers to questions that I have. The fact that Brooke blocked this is so crazy. I love it. I love it. Yeah. This is a chapter that will be remembered come end of year. So, definitely have an appreciation for that. Predictions for the next chapter. I don't think that Oda can conceivably leave us hanging on that Brook, Gunko and Imu thing for too long, because then we would have to buy that Brook was battling Gunko Imu and holding his own for an extended period of time. So I think, like, if I was writing this and I didn't want to, make people believe that Brook is suddenly like super Yonko level, I would actually start the next chapter there and kind of get a little bit more out of that. Oda deliberately didn't show Sanji, so I think Sanji's got to do something in the next chapter, particularly because this chapter had a little bit of a focus on Zoro. If Lilith and Bonnie are going to have anything interesting to do in coming chapters, we may need a reset with them. That also includes Frankie. Like, I need a Frankie reset. We haven't seen him at all, so I think I think we need like 2 pages there, or at least a page. And then I could see the next chapter ending with like some big feat of Zoro's. Like, if we go back to that, where he does an attack on the 2 of those guys. I don't like that Zoro's fighting them by himself, though. I feel like it really should be Zoro and Sanji versus Dory and Brogy, and that's disappointing to me, and I hope that the story actually eventually does get there. Because honestly, I think the best case scenario would, at this point, and after the events of this chapter with the sleep tit of Nika attacking, I'd actually like Loki and Luffy to pull up to Summers and have Summers kind of be like a Bluno, where he's not the person that we expect Luffy to fight, but he's Luffy's first taste of fighting a Holy Knight before Imu. So it's like we have this Imu and Brook stuff that's like happening somewhere else, and it's completely isolated and doesn't involve any of the other Straw Hats for the time being. Luffy comes into the Summers situation. Sanji gets an update from Nami and all of them, but eventually gets involved and pulled into the Dory and Brogy stuff. What that means for the rest of the crew, they probably have to go to where Brook is. And then eventually, Luffy will get pulled into that. Or they'll make a decision that, like, this whole thing just got bungled up by the Straw Hats, and they will have to, like, try again. Because they don't have a boat now. So unless they get a boat, or unless they commandeer the Sunny, I don't know. Sorrowful, Lyra Bova is stunning as Nico Robin. Seeing her in costume was like seeing Robin come to life. I think she's going to be a big standout of the season when it airs. Peak Brook moment. Elbaf is a Brooks arc. I mean, I feel like we're getting Whole Cake 2.0 where Brook is going to steal the MVP. We'll find out. Neil said, new Giant Warrior Pirates ranking. Hyrodin at the top. Love him. He's like firmly very secure at the top. Like he's actually one of my favorite characters. Like if I probably did like a top 30 or something, like he would be in my top 30. Road is firmly at the bottom, like way at the bottom. Dude sucks. And then Stanson now, like I think he's second place. And then Gerd and Goldberg are kind of interchangeable. Like I gotta yeah, they're kind of tied for me. I don't know. I need more from them to kind of see what happens. Crush said the shield is on Brook's back the whole time. Part of his fit. Jedman said, hope you enjoyed the chapter. I really liked this one. Like, the past couple, I was like, you know, you've been in the streams, like, I've been like, this is a setup chapter, you know, like, let's get to the thing. Like, this feels like we're back in the action. Said that he wouldn't be surprised if Brooks sees Emu's face next chapter, and the cliffhanger is Brooks saying, you are. Chin with a Brooke Shields pun. Good one. Azucap said, Frankie's still nowhere to be seen as Wild. Saeed answered him saying, he was last seen next to the fallen great Eric, Dory Brogy, Lilith, Bonnie, Gabon, and Ripley, chapter 1147, but then Ripley split off from them in chapter 1148. Now, people were talking about if Frankie did get Don't Be Reversied, could he build a ship? It would actually make more sense if he just repaired the great Eric then. Like, got Reversied, repaired the Great Eric, and then they used their own ship. Dory and Brogy get involved in taking the kids, and then they also sail with the ship to the Holy Land. That's a possibility. Focus Art's a bit upset that Robin's still not free yet. Poor girl has to watch the legacy of her home burn. Yeah. You know, that feels like Oda just like keeping Robin down because it feels like she would just fix an issue really simply or something. She said ready for another long flashback of 2026. Brooke, Princess Shuri. You know, I think that Oda could do a Brooke and Princess Shuri flashback in less than 3 chapters or less. I don't think we're getting, you know, a whole God Valley treatment here. I don't think we're getting a Kuma thing. Even when Sanji got his second flashback, it's like, I want to say 2 chapters. And even the original Brooke flashback is only about a chapter or 2. Chapter and a half or something like that. So I think Oda can like get through it quickly. Kip said, I'm coping right now. Hear me out. Lilith is upgrading Frankie with a nuclear fission power core. Please. Please. I've been wanting that for years. You know, I've been wanting some big Frankie upgrades, and they just haven't been coming. Leo Legendaria said Zoro's him, no need for the cook. I disagree. Zoro is him, but I want the cook because there are too many parallels between Dorian Brogy and Zoro and Sanji that it's like it really should be the 2 of them working together on this. Crush said Luffy knows how to deal with the Knights. Just repeat what he did to Mars. Send them flying. Yeah, well, that was an elder. He hasn't had an interaction with a Knight yet, even though they all have the Abyss and everything like that. I feels a little different. Brooke's always a solid performer. Great to be getting new lore for him too, said Jacob. Yeah, hey, look, I'm here for it. As a cap said, how likely is it that Shamrock comes back to Elbaf? I feel like that would be a cop out. Like, if why leave then? You know, I mean, obviously there's a reason why, and we'll eventually learn who's messing with the Holy Land right now. But if Shamrock comes back, then the only reason he's coming back is because we are going to lose tremendously. Like, if he comes back, and we win, I'll be so mad. Like, the reason you're taking someone off the board is because we're not ready for them. That's what I feel story-wise. So if he comes back, it's like, okay, we're going full archipelago. And this guy's about to just crush everybody. The castle gets destroyed. Does that break the pentagram and prevent the God's Knights from teleporting out? Maybe. I mean, I feel like if the seal is broken, the seal's broken, you know? I mean, they might be able to make another one, though. They might have the ability to do that. But as we could see every single time that Loki would cut the mark of Abyss on Herald before it regrew itself, Herald would be able to, like, use Herald. And then when the mark would come back, then Emu had control again. Jin said Randy's worst nightmare, Sanji versus Killingham. I completely forgot about that guy, I'm not gonna lie. When I was talking about my predictions and everything, like, I forgot that guy was here. But honestly, that's a good thing for the rest of the crew to be dealing with. Like, Jinbei can take that guy, working with Usopp and Nami. Like, the guy starts making sleep tids for them to fight. So then Sanji can go and get involved in the Dory and Brogy stuff. Jidman said, it feels like there's too many heroes to how many villains there are. Yeah, that's how I feel. And when I was making my predictions, I was like, what could the other Straw Hats do? And then but I forgot that Killingham was there, and that actually like kind of solves the issue a little bit, because at least Killingham can create things for the rest of them to fight, which makes things a little easier trying to justify what they're doing. Jinbei takes out Killingham. Yeah, I'd like that. I know everybody wants Sanji versus Summers, and I think that would be a good fight. But in the same way that, like, back in the day, it seemed like maybe Sanji would fight Bluno, but then Luffy took him off the board. Like, I find it interesting if Luffy's the one that takes him out, and I think that there's also a little bit of poetry to it. Like, if Luffy takes out Summers, Chid said, yeah, very predictable. Sanji is versus Summers. Like, Luffy's mentor is Rayleigh, and Rayleigh, like Summers, we all read the scene between Summers and Shaggy, and then Rayleigh comes in and saves the day. So it's like Rayleigh and Summers have a little bit of history. So then, the protege shows up, takes him out. Like, I like that. Alex Mirren said, too many heroes is why I promote Demon Straw Hats. Hey, look, I'm still team that as long as Luffy is the cure to it. Jin wants heat on thorns. Bowser Cap said we still didn't see the Heaven Realm. I hope Elbaf doesn't end before we see it. I think the Heaven Realm is going to be like a pathway to the moon or something. Like, it's gotta be. I don't know. Neil said someone has to save the books. Then, I mean, maybe that's Nami and the rest of that group. Jin wants Domi Reversi. Usopp, I do not. That's the one person I don't want. I want Gear 5 Usopp. But I'll take Domi Reversi Usopp if it gets us Gear 5 Usopp. Ugh. I think I'm gonna start winding down here, guys. If let's get all of our last thoughts out. I'm excited that there's no break. We're gonna get into everything quickly. That's always the hardest time of being a One Piece fan, is like that period between early December and then February where chapters are so fleeting. Jacob said Moon Piece after Elbaf. Laugh Tail connected to the moon. I mean, if no one knows how to get to the final island, because the island's the moon, I don't know. I just think, like, if they're... I think it would be really interesting, visually interesting also, like, if we get to the Heaven Realm, and then the Bifrost, rainbow thing, painters or whatever, is just able to, like, just get us to the moon or something. Because I know it's been theorized that Emu is from the moon, which makes sense, given the silhouette and then, like, the kind of creatures that we've seen on the moon in the first place. And if it's a thing where Emu, like, maybe wants to get back home to the moon, and the only way to really do it is from Elbaf, that would also, like, give another reason why Emu would want to conquer Elbaf. If there's something they need to get on the moon, I don't know. My rating for Ange? Low. Ah, yes, Golden Week. Volkasard said Zehaha should get involved soon, especially after all the Davy stuff. I wanted that. I feel like we're dragging it. It should have happened already. I'd love that. Emil said, I could see Emu forcing Luffy into the Holy Land alone through the Abyss before the Pentagram's destroyed. Would be a good way to see the chaos over there. Look, I have wanted a reverse Marineford the entire time skip. Pretty much. Like, take Luffy off the board. Zoro leads the crew for a little bit, something like that. Everybody else trains with Gabon. It's like, hey, look, if you want to get Luffy back, you can't go there the way you are now. Like, they have Luffy. They have everything there. They take a little short break, training. And they come back crazy. Collect everybody from every nation that Luffy's ever liberated, and they all, like, show up to Luffy's aid. I don't know, that's the most poetic way to end the story to me. The Legendary said Emu can't do that to Luffy. Only people with the Mark of the Abyss can do that. Yeah. Still would be cool though, but the rules have been stated. It's not going to be able to happen. Zoro as a leader, everyone knows Captain Usopp would step up. Sanji led the crew. I just want, I want the other member of the monster trio to have a shot. But, alright guys, I think that's going to wrap things up here. I don't have much else to say about the chapter, and other than I enjoyed it. Is put some new life into Elbaf. Glad we got this this Brook stuff as quickly as we did. I was worried that we were gonna, Oda was just gonna drag it out. And I mean, it kind of has been dragged out a little bit, but I mean even longer. So it's gonna be fun to see what comes next. I'm excited about everything again. Alright guys, thanks again as always, and I look forward to seeing everybody next Sunday for 1174. Have a great week.
I've been swimming deep, deep. Savage.